May 23rd, 1911, and it's the opening day of the library. It's a huge deal. People have been watching this building go up for more than a dozen years. It was a very important civic event. The President of the United States, William Howard Taft, attended. The governor of New York attended, of course, the mayor of the city of New York. And then there were thousands and thousands of people who queued up to come in and see this place. There were 1 million books when the library opened. There was capacity for 3 million, so they were planning ahead. The history of this site is very interesting. It was originally a potter's field, that is, a cemetery for poor people. Later, during the American Revolution, it was the site of a major battle led by George Washington. In the mid-19th century, it was the site of a reservoir, the Croton Reservoir, that served the growing population of New York City. By the end of the 19th century, the city had outgrown the capacity of the reservoir. In the late 19th century, there were so many very civic-minded and very wealthy people in New York City, and their ambitions to create a world-class city were evident everywhere. And the city needed a world-class library, and those same ambitious, very civic-minded individuals made it happen. So the trustees wanted to have a public competition for the commission to build the library. Anybody could submit a design, and 88 people did. The winning team consisted of John Career and Thomas Hastings, and it was somewhat of a surprising choice because they were the youngest and least experienced. But Career and Hastings had these gracious touches all over the exterior, and of course the lions, patience and fortitude, which maybe clinched the deal. The proportions are beautiful, and there are all these welcoming touches like the fountains and the flagpole bases. They're among the most beautiful in the world. And the 3 porticos, which are meant to invoke a triumphal arch. There are allegorical figures on the attic frieze representing things like history and drama and literature and poetry and philosophy and so forth. One wonders what it must have been like for people who were visiting the library from different parts of the world who came into this building and were compelled, moved to try to better themselves. You enter the small door and then you're in this soaring space, Astor Hall. You see these 2 beautiful staircases that lead you up to the 2nd floor. Up on the 3rd floor, you first enter the McGraw Rotunda. This space is decorated with a cycle of murals by someone named Edward Lanning, who created them from 1938 to 1942, and they depict the story of the recorded word. And there's a mural on the ceiling, which is Prometheus bringing fire to humankind. Proceeding into the Rosemain Reading Room, that is the most majestic space in the library and one of the most glorious library spaces in the world. The first thing you notice is that it's enormous. It's almost the size of a football field. The second thing you notice is the magnificent ceiling, which has lots of gilt on the stucco work and these marvelous paintings. This building is so immense that it's almost like a cathedral with chapels. We have these special collections that are supported by very expert curators who work with researchers who are doing very in-depth and scholarly work to help them get their projects accomplished. And important work is produced with our collections all the time. When the list of awardees comes out for the National Book Award or the Pulitzer Prizes, it's remarkable how many of those people are frequent users of our space. Libraries are evolving very quickly. They're changing in enormous ways. But people still value the collections and love the space. You can come into this library any day and you will see that it is packed. Going back to the Croton Reservoir days is like an aquifer of the mind. It continues to be like that source of nourishment, of water, of something sustaining, and that's what the New York Public Library will remain.